Hey YouTube, it's been a while. Normstorm here. So, as the name suggests, I'm thinking of getting back into doing the weekly LoL recaps. This video is just to sort of talk about the decision making leading up to it and where things are probably going to go with this channel. Um, so if we just talk about when I wanted to kind of finish doing LoL news, at the time I liked being on the road to doing like analytical work for League and like historian work. Um, and just always doing the LoL recaps, keeping people and myself up to date on everything going on with League. Um, but at the time, just there was like kind of like life context that kind of got in the way, and I was still able to do the LoL recaps, but at some points it kind of became a grind, and I was really thinking like, is this really the path that I want to go down? And so I kind of also wanted to try new things, so I like explored the trades for a little bit. I was thinking of being an electrician, so like I did some courses and I did some training to kind of get there, and I learned that I I do kind of like the trades, and like there's a lot of valuable lessons and skills that you can get from dipping your feet in there. But ultimately, I learned that like as far as my actual career path is concerned, I definitely do want to stay something related to like video editing or video games or something like that. So I stopped doing the LOL recaps because, as far as the live context was concerned, like money was also an issue, and I was just thinking like, you know what, there's just so much work that I have to do here that like I'm not getting paid for just yet, and I decided to just kind of opt with like the safer route of just kind of do like more hours and part-time jobs and all that to kind of focus more on just like making money. Um, but yeah, so as you could probably see, like after I finished doing the law recaps, I was still video editing. Like I've been video editing nearly my entire life, like since I was in like the sixth grade. Um, like before doing the law recaps, I was like kind of making like more directed stuff, like just kind of like fucking around in video games with my friends. Uh, and so you could see that I was just kind of recording every game I play and compiling clips together and like making montages out of them. Like it was just, video editing was still my hobby, so that's what it was, and I'm probably still going to do that. Um, but yeah, as I've kind of mentioned before, like I do want my career, like it just makes sense for me for my career to like be related to what I mentioned before. So I'm actually in school now. I'm in college. I'm doing a year course of like 3D modeling and visual effects. So um, that's not the only course I intend on taking. Like next year, like maybe I can do like 3D animation or like TV writing, producing, or something like that. There's a lot of options. A lot of it is still just me kind of like figuring out exactly what I want to do. And so whether I'm like making, league cinematics or not even league cinematics, but just like video game cinematics, um, in general, like, awesome fight scenes or stuff like that. Like I like the idea of doing all that. But in general, when I think about like myself and my brand, like there's actually a lot of things that I could do and a lot of things that I do want to do. So um, from an independent standpoint. Um, I'm thinking of doing the law recaps again, just to kind of show like, hey, like I am still versed in like this scene, and like in general, it would just keep a lot of doors open for me. Um, yeah, like I'm pretty excited by it. Like I really did like doing the law recaps when I was doing them. Uh, but I guess there kind of was like a lot of pressure of like, you know, making money or like being successful with it. But at this point, like now that I've kind of taken a step back from it for a couple of years, I realized that a lot of it, like that's not really kind of the point of it. It's just, kind of just doing what I like doing, and, just kind of building an independent profile, right? So um, if the show comes back, the show is probably going to come back in some way or another, but it's going to take a much different form. I've been thinking of dipping into CSGO as well as Overwatch. So if the show entails that, obviously it's not going to be as focused on league stuff, but it's also going to carry into the other esports. I'm not sure if there are going to be separate videos or anything like that, but you also have to realize that like I'm at school now, right? So school is going to be number one priority. Like I might not be able to crank videos out on a weekly basis like I used to. Um, but yeah, so like I'm probably, like for League of Legends, probably not going to do a whole scene tailored to like birthdays or some shit, or like rotations and skin sales, because that's not really as important. Um, and actually, before I even get into it, there's like a big visual overhaul I have to do because YouTube got rid of the annotations between now and when I stopped making them. So I don't know, that was pretty dumb. But so yeah, I was also thinking of making videos just kind of talk about like certain events in League, like with the bot lane changes. I've actually really wanted to talk about the bot lane changes because like I've been in the scene a while, like analyzing all this stuff, right? And a lot of people who are new, like they don't really get what's going on. And so I'm thinking like, well, like I'm obviously not as into it before, but I still have like that background knowledge, and I can, even if you don't agree with it, like I can still help facilitate like Riot's overall game balance, um, philosophies and procedures, because there's definitely some patterns in the way they do everything. So yeah, things like that. So yeah, this is just a quick little update video on some things that might come in the future, and yeah, I'll keep you all posted. So see ya.